Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetsnews.com and today we are here at the Sony event and Sony has finally announced their flagship phone, which is the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus, which we have with us. We have the copper variant of this phone. Again, you do have other colors for this device which is going to be available. From today you can actually buy it. It is available for a price of 55,000 rupees approximately, and for that much of price you are getting a flagship phone which looks very premium and as premium as Samsung Galaxy S6 actually look like. We do have S6 as well with us as of now for the comparison, and we have the gold platinum version of Samsung Galaxy S6. Again, if you take a closer look over both of these two phones, we can see that both of them look quite premium in terms of the overall look and feel, and the build quality is also good. But there is one difference, that is that the Samsung Galaxy S6 is not water resistant, but the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus is water resistant. So Sony Xperia Z3 Plus is definitely an upgrade over the Z3, not only in terms of hardware specification but also in terms of the overall look and feel. This one has become much more premium in terms of look. It has got metal edges on the side, and again on the corners you can see that we have shiny material over there which is actually metal, and then you have a soft coating inside which will protect your phone from any kind of damage. This is something which I have seen earlier on the Sony Xperia Z3 Compact, but again this kind of look and feel is only there on the Xperia Z3 Plus. Again, Sony always put a dedicated camera shutter key unlike other flagship phones, so it is also a good thing. It is a metallic button, gives you a good amount of feedback, and then you have the volume rocker which is also a metallic button. The power and sleep key is over there in the silver color, and again it is also metallic and gives you good amount of feedback. We have a 20.7 megapixel camera at the back, which again do not have any kind of bulge, so in case you place it on a flat surface it will not get any kind of scratches. We have LED flash as well over there, and then you can get very good photos in daylight as well as in low light from the rear camera on this device. When it comes to the screen guard, Sony is giving a screen guard which is already coming pre-installed on your phone, so you don't need to get it installed once you buy this phone. And you are also getting a dock with this phone. So Sony Xperia Z3 Plus comes with a dock within the same price you pay, which is 55,000 rupees. So if with that dock you can actually charge your Sony Xperia Z3 Plus much faster, and you can get around 5.5 hours of battery backup with 10 minutes of charge. So you do have quick charge supported on this device. We have pretty good hardware inside, which is Snapdragon 8110, and again it is pretty powerful in terms of the overall hardware specification, and look and feel is quite premium as well. Let's compare the look and feel with the Samsung Galaxy S6 which we have with us. As you can see, again the Samsung Galaxy S6 has got metal edges on this device which you can see, which are kind of looking good in terms of the overall look and feel, and they also look good in terms of the build quality. So in terms of the look and feel, both of these devices come very close to each other and both of them look quite premium. However, we do not have a gold version of the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus, but we have a gold platinum version of Sony Xperia Z of the Samsung Galaxy S6. Talking about the rear camera is 16 megapixel on Samsung Galaxy S6 and it is 20.7 megapixel over there. When it comes to the back is again shiny and it has glass over there on both of these phones, and again both of them look quite premium if you take a closer look. Talking about the bottom, we have the micro USB port, and then you have the 3.5 audio jack on this S6, and you have a lanyard port over there. When it comes to the loudspeaker for the Sony Xperia Z3 is again there, and it is going to fire up from here, and you also have a lanyard port as well. Apart from this, if you take a look over this side, we have a flap over there for the connectivity, so you can insert a SIM card inside over there. And when it comes to the connectivity, you will have to insert a nano SIM into this device, and then you have a slot for the micro SD cards as well. So you can actually insert a micro SD card into the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus, which is definitely a good thing. And again, when we talk about the overall look and feel and the build quality, Sony Xperia Z3 Plus is as premium as Samsung Galaxy S6 is, but again you have complete metal edge over there, whereas the metal edge which is there on the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus is kind of divided by this particular section over there on the corners, but it does look pretty premium and good in terms of the look and feel. Talking about the overall form factor, the form factor of both of these phones is quite similar. We have 5.2-inch display on this device, and we have approximately 5.1-inch display on the Samsung Galaxy S6. Display is pretty bright on both of these devices, and you can see that the viewing angles are good as well on both of them. Let me just do a quick camera comparison of these two devices so that you can find out which one is better in terms of the overall camera results. So I will take a photo from the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus first of all, of this small flower pot over there. And let me just take the photo from the S6 which we have with us. So we have now here we have the photo loaded for the quick camera comparison of these two devices. When it comes to the color production, I would say the colors are nicely reproduced over there on the Samsung Galaxy S6 as compared to what we see on the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus. This one is looking good in terms of details. In terms of colors, it is not exactly the same, which I can see over there. So in terms of camera comparison, I would say the colors are looking better because of the Super AMOLED display, and we have an IPS LCD display on the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus. But again, this one is looking crisp and clear, and in terms of the overall colors, it is not looking bad at all. On the display front, we have full high definition display on this device, whereas we have Quad HD display on the Samsung Galaxy S6, which is going to give you slightly more pixels. But even if you take a closer look on any of these two phones on the display front, you will not notice pixelation on the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus, and same will happen for the Samsung Galaxy S6 as well. Hardware front, we have got Snapdragon 8110, and it is a combination of two quad-core processor inside, which is 1.5 GHz Cortex A53, and you have another quad-core processor which is clocked at 2 GHz, which is Cortex A57. We have Adreno 430 GPU, which is again going to give you a very good gaming performance on this phone. You can actually play any kind of high definition game on this device. When it comes to the micro SD card slot, you can insert a micro SD card up to 128 GB maximum on this device, which is again a good thing. And you do have 32 GB internal storage on this device, which is again going to give you pretty much of storage on the device itself, so that you don't actually need the SD card easily. When it comes to RAM, you have 3 GB of RAM, and 3 GB of RAM is going to power up this phone, and the phone is pretty responsive. When it comes to the UI has become much more responsive and smooth as well. Sony has worked on the UI, and the display also looked pretty bright. As far as sunlight visibility is concerned, it is far more visible in sunlight now as compared to what I have seen on Z2 and Z3. So Z3 Plus has a better display, and one thing which they have done this time is that they have added the functionality, so even when the screen is kind of wet, you can use the display. So the thing which Sony has done with the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus is that they have made the display much more sensitive this time, so even when the screen is wet, you can still use it. You can unlock the phone, you can use the interface of the phone. As you can see, the touchscreen is working even when it is wet. You do have some water over there, but still it is working as of now. I can unlock the phone and still use the device to a great extent, even with the wet screen and with a wet hand as well. Let's take a look over the internal configuration of the phone, and here we have the settings. First of all, again, it is running on Android Lollipop. Let me just find out the version of Lollipop which it has. So it is having Android 5.0.2. Again, you get 5.1 on Samsung Galaxy S6 in case you are wondering. So you get newer version of Lollipop on the Samsung Galaxy S6, but this is upgradable to the newer version as well, and you will get that update very soon. Here we have the internal storage, which is 32 GB, and the storage which is available to the user is slightly less over there, but again, this is because of the custom UI which is there on top of Android, which is the Xperia UI. And as you can see, approximately 9.42 GB is being used by the system. And if you compare it with the Samsung Galaxy S6 over there, we do have good amount of storage being used over here as well. So because of the custom UI, it does take some amount of storage on the device itself. You can always insert an SD card, and on this device, if you can see, the available storage is 21.18 GB as compared to 16.23 GB, and over here the system is taking approximately 6.57 on the Samsung Galaxy S6, and it is taking 9.42 GB, which is slightly more in terms of the internal storage which is being occupied by the system UI. Taking a look over the connectivity and the ports, we have a micro USB port over there for data syncing and charging, and again, this port is also protected from any kind of water. So even if water goes inside, it won't enter the circuitry of the phone, because they have added some rubber padding on the phone especially to protect the water damage from this port. And here we have the loudspeaker. On this side we have a flap in which you can insert the SIM card and the micro SD card. On the top you have a 3.5mm audio jack, which is again protected with certain amount of plastic over there from inside to give it a layering. And here we have the secondary microphone for noise cancellation. We have some rubber padding over there, which is again good to protect the device from any kind of damage. And at the back side of the device, you can see that we have glass. Again, this device does get heated up slightly because of the glass surface at the back, which is again going to give you slight amount of heat, especially when you are doing heavy intensive tasks on this device. But again, overall, in initial testing, I do not experience much amount of heat from this phone. As far as RAM is concerned, we have 3 GB of RAM on this device, and let me see how much of that is actually available to the user. So approximately 1.8 GB is available to the user out of 3 GB, which is making this device pretty responsive and fast enough in terms of UI. And I can see that the UI is pretty snappy and smooth on this device. In terms of weight, it has a weight of approximately 144 gram, which is again pretty light for a device like this. The display is also good in terms of the overall brightness. It is 5.2-inch IPS LCD display, which may not look that colorful as you see on Samsung Galaxy S6, especially when it comes to taking a look over the photos. But with normal interface, when you are using the phone, both of these phones are looking good in terms of the display clarity, and viewing angles are also good. And again, color production is pretty nice on the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus as well if you compare it with the UI of the Samsung Galaxy S6. Now here we have the camera interface loaded on the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus, and as you can see, this is how it looks like. Again, the camera interface has become much more responsive and fluid in terms of the overall operations and buttons. When it comes to taking a photo, it can easily take a photo by focusing on it first, and then it will take the photo, and I can take one more photo and one more to show you the clarity of the photos you can expect from the rear camera. So all these photos have been taken, and I can show you all of them one by one. This is the one which I have just taken in the macro mode, and again text is, again the things are looking very crisp and clear, especially when it comes to the flowers, and details are also very nicely produced. Colors are also looking good on this bright colorful display. When it comes to the other photo, this photo is also looking pretty good in terms of the clarity, and color production is also done nicely even when it is a kind of a low light photo. And when we talk about this photo in which I have captured my iPhone 6, once I zoom in, you can expect good amount of details, which is very nice. So it has captured good amount of details, and colors are also being nicely produced. It is almost like the natural thing which I can see right now on my iPhone 6, especially with my naked eyes. It is a very good photo which has been reproduced. Even when there was a lot of light falling on the surface of the phone, it has captured this photo pretty well. Let me just take a photo from the front camera as well to show you the front camera clarity. So I've just taken the selfie from the front camera, and I can show you the same. And then it has captured good amount of details. As you can see, everything is readable. Comes to my face, I can see myself crisp and clear, and again details are also nicely produced. The colors are also looking nice. The front camera selfie is looking pretty good on this device. That's all from us as far as the quick hands-on review of the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus. We really like this phone in terms of the overall look and feel and the build quality. Again, this phone has become much more premium this time from Sony, and the copper variant which we have with us looks as premium as Samsung Galaxy S6, which I have already mentioned. Again, one thing which is quite different on this phone, which make this phone quite special, is that it is water resistant. So even if it goes inside water, or even if you drop it, it will keep on working, and you don't need to cover the micro USB port over there this time, because they have added water protection for this one. So even when this phone goes like this inside water, it will still keep on working, which is definitely a good thing. And they have made other changes on the display which make the display usable even when it is wet. So all these things does make it pretty special, especially as a flagship phone. It is slightly high in terms of the price, but it will be coming down to 50,000 rupees. In that case, it is a pretty good competitor for the Samsung Galaxy S6 as well, which is one good thing on the Sony Xperia Z3 Plus is that you can insert an SD card to expand the storage on Sony Xperia Z3 Plus, but you cannot do the same on the Samsung Galaxy S6 or S6 Edge. You can leave your questions in the comment section below. You can like this video. This video help you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.